Welcome everybody, it's Janice. So I don't know what happened, but I forgot to upload this video, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. I did do a short and it was more about it was a hyperlapse of the actual bloom forming, but I don't know, I just totally forgot to upload this video. So this is the orange bloom that I did, and I actually loved it. It came out really nicely. So I'm setting my clock for 5 minutes. I've got 110 grams of 1:1 medium viscosity resin, and I'm going to mix that for 5 minutes. I'm going to obviously fast forward the whole video so you don't sit through that whole 5 minutes. I have got my molds level. I've got some white pigment paste, and I'm just going to use the two colors. It's an orange and a coffee. There's my 5 minutes up. So now I'm going to reset my clock, and I'm going to just let my resin stand for 18 minutes now, just to warm up and to get a little bit thicker. The alcohol inks I got off of either Temu or Shein, I can't remember. I'm really happy with them. I like the colors, so I've got no complaints about the alcohol inks at all. So I'm just putting a tiny little blob of my white pigment paste onto my stick, and I'm going to put it into my little cup, and I'm adding about 20 grams of my resin that I've put aside to heat up, and I'm going to mix that in well, and I'm going to put it into a piping bag. Now pigment paste is heavy, so don't overdo it with the pigment paste because it's just going to sink. So rather try and get this to look like I'd say kind of like skim milk. It's slightly see-through. You just don't want this paste to be too heavy where it just sinks at the bottom and you get blobs. And your petals, don't blend into your resin nicely. So I'm putting it into the piping bag, and I just also leave that along with my resin that's heating up, and I will wait for my 18 minutes to be up. I find that for me with this resin, the 18 minutes seems to work pretty well for me. I mean, it might be slightly different for you. So always just experiment and get to that ideal place with your own resin. So I'm pouring the resin into my mold. It's warm, and it's the consistency, I would say, of like honey. And what happens, I've put it in the mold. It starts cooling down now, and as it cools down, it pulls towards the middle, the center of the mold, and that's what forms your blooms. So further on, I'm going to put the camera on hyperlapse, and you'll actually see what happens, how everything gets pulled towards the middle. So for now, just enjoy the process. I'm going to stop talking, and I will connect again towards the end of the video. Right, so after that, I covered it, left it to cure overnight, and this is the next day. It's nicely cured. And then I decided to go with a beautiful, very deep blue. It was actually some pigment paste that I made of my own, of which I'll do a separate video on how to do that. So I mixed that in just a little tiny bit, and this is and I will be doing this on the back of the bloom. So make sure again that your mold is nice and level. I poured it in. I made sure there were no bubbles. I used my heat gun to pop any bubbles that came to the surface. And once again, I covered and I left overnight to cure. And then I was actually very, very happy with the bloom. And because of the blue, it works really well with the orange, I think. And then I did the actual edge with silver. I just thought the silver would look nicer with the blue than gold. But overall, I was very happy with the bloom, and it was just a little project I really enjoyed. So enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Any new subscribers, massive welcome. Please, if there's any questions, just put them in the comments and I will really try and answer you. And so with that, I will say goodbye.